In this Jobready 360 guide, you will learn how to apply for eligibility for work-based learning. On the Chromebook, you will go to the top left of your screen, click on the Clever app, and then scroll down and find the Jobready 360 app, or you can search for it on the toolbar at the top. Clever should log you in directly to your Jobready 360 platform dashboard. If not, you can click the top left and it will take you to your dashboard. Under Quick Links, you will find the green Apply for Work-Based Learning Eligibility button. Under Available Work-Based Learning Types, you should see a yellow Not Yet Eligible button. You will click here. The eligibility application will look a little different depending on which school that you are doing your work-based learning opportunity. Some schools may require a resume, some may require a cover letter, and some may require both or neither. All students will need to do the student eligibility application. Some schools will additionally have a student eligibility counselor verification form and possibly a CTE teacher verification form as well. You can check with the work-based learning coordinator at your school to see which of these are required for your program. Additionally, when you open the eligibility tab for your school, you will see which of these forms are required. If a resume or a cover letter are required, it's a good idea to go ahead and have those completed before you begin your application process. If you do not have a resume or a cover letter and you need assistance, see again your work-based learning coordinator and/or your library and media specialist, and they would be happy to help you begin the process. Once you have your resume complete, the process of uploading is very simple. You will just click the drag here to upload a file. Depending on whether you're using a desktop or a Chromebook, the formatting will look a little different, but you will find the resume that you've completed in either your Downloads folder or your My Drive. Once you have found the version of the resume that you would want to upload, you will select it. Once selected, you will simply click the Open button. Once the download is complete, you will notice that it says Remove File. The one required form of all schools is the student eligibility application. In order to begin the process, you will click on the student eligibility application. You will then look down at the signers. Confirm that your email is correct. Additionally, you will make sure that the guardian that you want to sign your forms has the correct email address. This should auto-populate from Infinite Campus, but you can change the recipient if you would like. Finally, you will select a work-based learning coordinator. This should be the work-based learning coordinator for your school. If you're not sure who that is, be sure to ask your counselor or your CTE teacher and they can inform you. Once all of the signers are selected, you will click the Start Form button. A new Pathful Forms window will open. You will scroll down, and any of the boxes that are highlighted in gray are ones that you are supposed to complete and fill out before you submit. The next section of the eligibility application is regarding your work-based learning placement. You have two options here. You will mark yes if you already know where you are working, or no if you do not have a placement yet. If you mark yes, you will also need to determine if your placement is related to your CTE pathway. And finally, if you do have a placement, you will use this section to fill out the information about the business in which you are working, as well as the supervisor who will be doing your evaluations. You will need to make sure that the supervisor's email is correct. If you, however, do not know where you plan to work, you can mark no, and in the box below, you will explain what your desired placement would look like. This is where you need to give as much description as possible so your work-based learning coordinator or your CTE teacher can help you to find a placement that would suit your needs. The final section of the eligibility form are the 3 goals for your work-based learning placement. Again, this is a place for you to explain in detail what you are hoping to get out of your work-based learning placement. This will help your CTE teacher, your work-based learning coordinator, your counselor find a placement that is best suited for you. Now that you're finished with your eligibility application, it's time to submit. You will click the green Sign Here button. Then you will scroll to the top and either click Sign or click Text and type your name. You will next scroll down to the bottom right and find the green Sign button. Click the green Sign button, confirm that your name is correct. If so, click the green Submit button in the top right. If done correctly, a success window will pop up on your screen. The process for forms is similar for all forms. If your school requires your counselor verification, you will just need to confirm that your counselor selected is the correct counselor that you are assigned to, and that the work-based learning coordinator selected is the one for your school. Once selected, you will click the Start Form button, and you are complete with this portion of the process. If required by your school, the final form you will need to fill out is the CTE Teacher Verification Form. For this form, you will need to make sure that your name populates as the student. For the teacher, you will need to select the CTE teacher that corresponds with the work placement that you are looking for. And finally, you would need to select your work-based learning coordinator. Once you've confirmed that all form signer information is correct, you will click the blue Start Form button. At this time, a new window will pop up with the teacher verification form. You will need to take this time to fill out any grade boxes that did not already auto-populate. You will complete the student pathway box. This pathway should not only be the pathway related to the job with which you are planning to work, but also should correspond to the teacher who is filling out the form. The final text box that you will complete will be the employer description. This is where you will describe the placement in which you plan to work. Whether you already have a job secured or if you are planning to work, this is a place for you to describe that for your teacher for their approval. Once you've completed all portions of this form, you will click the green Submit button, and a success box will pop up if you have done it correctly. At this time, all of the forms for the eligibility application should be complete. To confirm, go back to your work-based learning experience dashboard and click the yellow Not Yet Eligible button. Your eligibility screen will appear and you will see In Progress in yellow for all of the applications that you have appropriately submitted. Additionally, you can scroll to the top to see if your resume has uploaded appropriately. If at any point you would like to check the status of your eligibility form, just return to your dashboard, click on the green Apply for WBL Eligibility button. Once all forms have been approved, you will then see a green button that says Eligible at the bottom of your experience eligibility form.